Oh my, isn't that the infamous Sampo?
Oh yeah, the dude who only does small PP damage. What a loser, dude.
Sampo. Yes, that's my name. But a guy does small PP damage and you think that of me? No. I am the one who does big PP damage.
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra!
Push forward. Purge initiated. Transmission.
Hello, my name is Krillix, and today we're going to be talking about Sampo. If you click on this video, either you just got Sampo and you want to build him, or, like me, you want to get Kafka and plan to use Sampo alongside her. So, in this video, I'm going to warn you about what not to do with Sampo if you don't want to ruin your account, like me. But I will tell you what you can do if you want to make Sampo more viable, since he is terrible and you should not build him and do not waste. Now, getting into Sampo, his kit is pretty simple to understand. He basically just applies DOT, which is damage over time with every move he does. And since he's a wind character, it applies wind shear, which can stack up to 5 times an enemy. Now, the whole point of his kit is stacking DOTs, right? So I assumed that his DOTs would be doing all the damage, since that's literally the role of his kit. As you can see, his basic attack deals damage, which has a chance. Well, actually, if you go to his talent, every attack he does has a 65% base chance to inflict wind shear for 3 turns. So that means you should pretty much have uptime for wind shear 100%. And it says they take wind DOT equals to 35% of Sampo's attack. 35, okay. So like you're probably assuming this is like what, level 1 talent? Yeah, no, this is level 7 talent, as you can see in the top. And it only does 35% damage, which I think is honestly pretty small, considering that's what he does for every ability. Because you can see his skill is pretty much just a basic attack, except done many more times. Pretty much, if you either 4 times basic or 5 times with the Eidolon. And his ultimate is probably his best move, to be honest, which just increases the target's DOT taken by 26% for 2 turns. So now, if you're planning to use him for Kafka, this is probably why you want to use him, to increase that DOT taken. But the thing is, as you can see, this has a 100% base chance, while his talent has 65% base chance. So, first talent, if you want to get 100% uptime, it's said to be around 100% effect hit rate, or to 120% effect hit rate for some bosses. So as you can see, I built that much effect hit rate on my Shampoo, thinking that's what you should go for. However, after testing him, I realized this is really not worth it. So if you see my relics here, I have the hat right here, giving attack and speed. I have the hands, they give attack, effect hit rate. The body, which gives effect hit rate, attack, and for some reason roll crit rate, crit damage. And then I have speed boots with attack, effect hit rate, 1 damage with just flat attack, which is pretty bad, and then attack percent rope with effect hit rate. So my goal with this build was to just maximize the amount of DOT damage that he could do, thinking that if I just invested into the DOT, he would just end up doing more DOT damage. However, if you don't know already, the only way to increase DOT damage is your attack percentage and also just like elemental damage and damage multipliers overall. So the only way you can really invest into it is upgrading that attack percent, and also by upgrading the effect hit rate so it applies more. However, I do not recommend going for 100% effect hit rate, because here's the deal. He does around like 5 attacks with Eidolon on his skill, and each of those have a chance to proc wind shear. And then he also has basic attacks and ultimates, which also has a chance to apply wind shear. There's just so many procs that it's not really worth going for that much effect hit rate. Instead, you should probably go for around like 60 to 70 to guarantee his ultimate, which has a 100% base chance, because that's really what you want to proc, not really the wind shears. Those are going to proc really no matter what, to be honest. So I'm going to try to show some gameplay of him with this build, which is DOT focused. And then I'm also going to put a DPS build so you can see how that works on him. But then the build I really recommend to use is a break effect build, which I'll probably be switching to, since break effect is where he mostly gets his damage from, as you'll see in the next clips. And the break effect also gives DOT, which Kafka can maximize if you plan on using it. Okay, so here I have Sampo on the same dot invested build that I showed earlier. And I want to show, imagine that you're fighting a boss. Let's say this is Memory Chaos or something. As you can see, she has 4 stacks of wind shear, right? I'm going to bounce, it'll add last wind shear, and hopefully get his ult. And the greatest part about his kit is probably the ability to break the toughness bar, which you'll see right here. It does a lot to the toughness bar. And now I'm going to apply his ult. So this means he has 5 stacks, and he's going to have his ultimate, which increases DOT damage. So expecting big damage, right? Maybe like 10k. She took 4k damage. 4k damage. And yeah, that's no buffs, but 4k damage using your ult and your skill. You would honestly expect a lot more with like a level 70 Sampo, level 7 talents. So this is why I don't think it's beneficial to invest in his dots so much, honestly. So now let's imagine that we made a DPS build for Sampo, which I do not recommend, by the way, since his multipliers are so low. It's not really worth. But if you're crazy, then you could probably make it work. However, you can see it's 33 crit rate, 154 crit damage. The pieces, you know, just straightforward HP, crit damage, attack, as if you were building like a regular DPS. So I want to see how will this change his DOT, right? Since now you're not investing in DOT anymore. You'll expect DOT will probably be less, right? Let's see.
Business, eh?
Alright, so over here we have Sampo on the DPS build. No way, right? And I want to see how much his DOT changes when you invest so much into crit rate, crit damage, right? Because you'd imagine his DOT would decrease. So let's see if we can get all 5 stacks, considering we have less effect hit rate now. So we get 1 stack.
To betray my customers, I charge extra.
And here we get 4 stacks, okay? So now this seems worse, right? Considering we got less stacks. However, here's the deal. That was our first turn using it. And you'll see right now how much DOT she takes from 4 stacks. And here's the ultimate. And let's see if you can keep this up even further. Look at this. Boom. Now he's 5 stacks and 3 stacks per break. And then now he takes 8,000 damage because of break effect. So as you can see, keeping up stacks is really, it's not a problem with Shampoo, even if you have less effect hit rate. And now I'm going to try to show his DOT with his ultimate.
I charge extra.
See if it matches the like 4k we got last time. Okay, yeah, it's literally the same. Actually, probably even more because I have more attack. So now what am I trying to show with this video? You may be asking yourself. Well, it just boils down to the fact that effect hit rate, you do not need about 100 to 120% for Shampoo. 70, 60 is more than enough, so you can guarantee his ultimate. And stacking the one shear really should not be a problem. Maybe you'll struggle in the first turn, but let's be real, you'll be fine. But I still think Shampoo has a lot of potential when a specific character comes out. I wonder who. But I think his best potential right now is his break effect, because he does break a lot, I will say. That is one thing he's really good at. But if you want him to do any damage at all, break effect is the only place you're going to get it. You're not going to get it from his dots. You're not going to get it from his skills. Maybe his ultimate if you have many characters on the field. But I will say just leave his dots as they are. Don't really try to improve them. Because really I think he's more of a support than he is sub DPS at all. Or any DPS capability. I think he's just like, he's just there for somebody else, you know? He's just